We're nearly halfway through Season 1 of the BSR Formula Renault series, and tonight we bring you action from rounds 53 to 56 here from the Silverstone International Circuit, live on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Adam Bath and iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson. Adam, I'll bring you in first for this one, my friend, because it's a layout that we're very familiar with from the old days of the BTCC, of course.
Yeah, indeed, and I think the World Touring cars may have used this on one occasion as well. It's a layout that isn't often used, or isn't used at all anymore, due to the building of the arena section some 7 years ago now. But it's still pretty good. It's been used in the Kia races that we have on Apex Racing TV in the past, and tonight it's going to be for the Formula Renaults. And to be honest, any sort of racing around Silverstone is usually good. So yeah, we should be in for 4 good races, I think.
Alex, the last few weeks they've been exceptionally good, really. In terms of the quality of the racing and how close it's been, and we hope that continues tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it will be a good night. We have had some fun meetings, and racing's been pretty good for the most part. We always get the odd little accident. I think the last race last week turned a little bit chaotic, but still, all round, yeah, pretty good. And this layout should be quite interesting. Not the traditional sort of full Grand Prix circuit that we're used to, so it should spice it up. But of course, not the tiny little national circuit either. That's always ridiculously close. So somewhere in between, I expect this to be quite good, and it's given the guys something to think about, because that's the circuit, or the 2 versions of the circuit that they're so used to.
We've had a couple of overtaking opportunities, Adam, most notably into what is now a hairpin, where the Abbey Chicane once was.
Yeah, that, and also probably Maggots and Beckett's. On the national circuit, it's almost a long bend, but here you've got Maggots and then a very small straight going into Beckett. So that is another overtaking opportunity. And then, of course, you've got the rest of the lap through Bridge, Brooklands and Priory to possibly probably get an overtake done there as well. So, yeah, the driver should be up to get some overtakes done.
Stevens spinning off there, so just qualifying just about to end. Well, I'm looking forward to this action here from Silverstone International Circuit. 15-minute race, of course, this first one. Adam, if you will, take us through the grid.
Okay, so it's a Pro 1, 2, 3, and it's a returnee, Graham Carroll. He's back after a few weeks out. He was last racing at Virginia. He's back here at Silverstone. He's going to start on pole position. Second is Pete Berryman, third Samuel Lebert. Martin van Loozenau going to be starting in 4th. He's always one to watch, isn't he? Many wins to his name this season. Jack Keighley looks like he's going to be starting in 5th, as there's just a few position changes going on here towards the latter part of the qualifying session. 6th is going to be Josh Thompson, with Paul Denton 7th, Tom Depka in 8th, John McCutchinson 9th, and 10th is going to be David Baker. 11th for Jos Honig. 10th has just gone Stephen Baxter, actually, in the last few seconds of the session. 11th for David Baker, 12th Jos Honig, 13th Christian Rose, 14th Sean Godfrey, Ralph Cullinan 15th, Kip Stevens in 16th, Alan Mitchell in 17th, 18th Roy Ververke. Starting in the back in 19th is George Lee Wright. We can quickly go through the championship standings as well, going into race 53 of the season. David Baker leads the way, but by only 2 points. It is very close at the top of the championship. Martin van Loozenau in 2nd, 3rd for Jack Keighley, 4th for Pete Berryman, 5th for Paul Denton, 6th for Christian Rose, 7th for Samuel Lebert, 8th Jos Honig, 9th Stephen Baxter, and 10th Josh Thompson. In the AM standings, Paul Denton leads Christian Rose. 3rd is Jos Honig, 4th is Stephen Baxter, 5th Josh Thompson, who's managed to get ahead of Tom Depka. And in the team standings, it's Faker Sim Sport Europe leading Apex Racing UK by 56 points. And that is what happened after the chaos that we had last week at Suzuka. It wasn't a good race meeting for the Apex UK team at all. Apex Academy 3rd, CQR Club 4th, ProSim 5th, Team Mad in 6th, Blue Flag Racing 7th, Apex Simulators in 8th, Radical Racing Online in 9th, and 4X in 10th.
Now, of course, we're focusing on the Formula Renaults tonight, but got to remind you of the event that's coming up on Friday the 12th of May here on Apex Racing TV, and of course iRacing Live. It's the Billy Whiz fundraiser for Billy Munger, and that's going to be going on here all night, really, from about 8 p.m. And we've got some guest drivers, Alex. We've got some raffle prizes, things like that, and got a mixed class race to look forward to.
A good meeting, actually. It's looking forward to actually watching it. So not going to be in the booth for that one. So yeah, just going to sit back and enjoy the show.
Some people have all the fun, Adam. He gets to sit that one out.
Oh no, yeah, well we could always have a go in it, but yeah, we're going to be commentating on it.
There's still places left in the Porsche and the Kia, Alex. There you go. We might have just found something for you to do on Friday night. But no, seriously.
Rob Austin as well. Yeah, and Ash Sutton confirmed BTCC drivers in it.
Well, there you go. Yeah, so it's great to see some big names joining us on the grid. Yeah, we're going to be raising money, of course, for Billy Munger. Fantastic cause. Be here next week, but for now it's the Renaults, and 19 of them are going to take to the Silverstone International Circuit for round 1 of the evening. 4 of them to come, but we get a good first race in the books. Here we go then. Revs are rising. Green flag flies here at Silverstone. It's a great start by Berryman. Already gaining on Carroll, who didn't get away that well. Side by side, they make contact into Compson. I think Berryman's broken the suspension.
Oh no, there's a crash, and around goes Keithley.
That's
and there's
carnage.
more contacts. Yeah, loads of cars off. That's Stephen Baxter. Martin van Loozenhoorn as well. He was 2 points behind. David Baker also off.
Pete Berryman's race lasted even less time than the ones he had last week. Broken suspension and racing very, very closely with Graham Carroll. Well, what can you say? Just bad racing at the start of the race.
Yeah, Martin around. It was Martin and Keithley who come together. Quite sure. I didn't see quite what happened to Peter. I was looking at the crash further back, but yeah.
Berryman's going again now, but I don't know if he's
limping in to get a
new
new
condition to continue.
New car possibly. I don't know actually if we have a fast repair in this series, but Graham Carroll leads.
At all, no.
Graham Carroll leads Samuel Lebert then, who's up second place. Josh Thompson in third, Paul Denton fourth, and McCutchinson in fifth. George Lee Wright started in pretty much last. Yeah, he did start in last. He's up to sixth place already.
Does have damage though, so we might find it difficult to get any further than sixth. But Graham Carroll leading. What do you make of that incident at the front?
I've seen it back on a replay now, so just having a little look. It just looked like it almost looked as if Graham squeezed Peter just a little bit too much before they turned in. Unfortunately, it has broke his suspension, so yeah, there was enough room, but then he just moved over a little bit too much before the turn in. I don't know if he thought he was clear or what, but yeah, unfortunately he wasn't.
Oh, off goes Mitchell.
Yeah, the incident happened. It was a minor touch, so I'm surprised to see the car break in such a way, you know? Really surprising.
Alan Mitchell sporting the livery that you would have seen quite a bit of today at Andrew Woodhouse, and yeah, going off at Beckett's. He should get going again though.
Yeah, it's good to see him still running, just a spin. Be okay for the rest of the race. Roy Viverke, John Godfrey and Jack Keithley. Keithley, did he just spin or did he hit anything, Keithley?
Keithley and Martin van Loozenhoorn actually come together, so again it just looked like 2 into 1, and yeah, both drivers obviously collected each other, so Keithley around again, so damage on his car. Oh, he does a turn in the road. Mitchell just about avoids him. Welcome back to the series, Alan Mitchell.
Going to be under pressure now from David Baker, who's needing to get a strong results here. Championship leader, of course, but by only 2 points. Of course, he'll be helped by the fact that Martin van Loozenhoorn looks set to be scoring a 0 in this opening race meeting, but Baker will be hoping to get as many positions and points as he can get.
Keithley has got some rear wing damage after that, incidentally. But yeah, Baker fighting hard to get in some more places here. Lose as few points as possible to Samuel Libert, who's really his main competition, and Paul Denton, isn't it? So in this one, Pete Berryman has now retired. So I think he tried to continue, but I think probably a meatball or something.
Here comes Mitchell up the inside of Keithley. That is 12th position, but spins it.
He's round. And that's eventful, isn't it? 2 spins for Mitchell and trying to avoid someone else who's been around as well.
That gives Keithley back his 12th position. Feels really spread out now as a result of that contacts at the first corner, which is a shame. Graham Carroll leads Samuel Lebert now by 1.6 seconds and has taken out really the two cars that could realistically challenge Graham Carroll for the race win. As David Baker gets past Jack Heathley for 12th position, going out of Luffield, that is.
Well, Lebert was very quick last week, wasn't he? But going to be difficult to make up that 1.6 seconds on Graham Carroll. Josh Thompson's in third. Fourth is Denton. Then McCutchinson in fifth. Wright sixth. Depke seventh. Eighth is Honig. Ninth is Rafe Cullinan. And John Godfrey rounds out the top 10.
Stevens making a move possibly on Keithy as well. So Keithy's car in right state is really, really struggling out there with any kind of
wing damage and everything.
Speed.
He's only got to struggle around.
DRS, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's only got to struggle around for another 10 minutes or so. But in that time, he could lose more positions. Looks like he might be moving out of the way for Kip Stevens here, or maybe even might be doing some defensive driving. But I think it'll be the former than the latter. And yeah, indeed, Kip Stevens through, and that's him into 13th.
Yep, and that's what it's all about, just getting the points on the board. Remember, every point scored, you get entered into a draw for Alex, many prizes that we have on offer.
Yeah, quite a lot of prizes, and of course the series is still open to anyone. You just want to pay your entry fee effectively. A £5 entry gives you a week's worth of racing, but also every point you score gets you a raffle ticket with your name on that. And we have things like GT Omega cockpits, we have Precision Sim Engineering steering wheels, we have Leo Bodnar Sim Steering V2 systems. There is, if I'm not mistaken, Adrian Quaife-Hobbs sequential shifter, as well as the chance to try out their simulator for a half day as well. So there's a whole host of prizes. Anyone can jump in and just compete throughout the week, or just a couple of random weeks. If you want to get yourself a raffle ticket to win one of those at the end of the season, well, just jump on in the series and have a blast. And like I say, the more points you get, the more chances you are of winning.
I've even got some raffle tickets in the bag. So anything can happen, really, couldn't it? As Graham Carroll leads the way by 2.7 seconds on the last two laps. Adam, he's really put the nail in the coffin of Lebert.
Definitely, yeah, the gap's opened up by just over a second over the last few laps, and the Frenchman Samuel Lebert, he's really on his own now. 3 seconds to Graham Carroll in front of him, and then another 3 seconds to Josh Thompson in third. So Samuel Lebert might have to consolidate this race result as it stands at the moment. Josh Thompson in third, Denton fourth, McCutchinson doing a good job for Prosim in fifth. George Lee Wright, despite that damage, he looks like he might be starting to come under a bit of pressure from Tom Depke and Jos Honig. They were slower than him on the last lap, but George Lee Wright looks like he's made a right mess of that opening sector, so they might be with him soon.
Unintended or not, maybe, that time?
Oh, it's unintended, I think. I can't even remember what I just said.
He made a right mess.
Oh, there you go.
Here comes Jos Honig, who didn't make a mess at all of the Abbey hairpin, and he's now catching Tom Depke, who Alex has finally started to get some decent race finishes and a bit of luck in this series. It's taken him about 50 races to do so.
Well, that's it. I mean, the race isn't over yet. We've still got 7.5 minutes, so let's not curse him too soon. But he had a good qualifier, and I think that makes all the difference. When the drivers can get sort of in that sort of top 10, it makes the start and the mid-pack racing, it's just so much easier to deal with when you're there. But if you're sort of around that 15th sort of place and back, you're right in the hornet's nest.
And Jos Honig now trying to pass Tom Depke. George Lee Wright going a bit wide as well. I think Depke will be really pleased if he comes 7th here, Adam, because he's starting to develop his pace race by race.
Yeah, he is. He's currently 6th in the Pro-Am standings, and Jos Honig just in that battle with him, it lies in 3rd as well. So this is going to be a good top 10 for them after the demise of many of the pro drivers in that first corner collision. You can see they're starting to ease into George Lee Wright a little bit more. Last time around 16.5 for George Lee Wright, and Tom Depke half a second quicker, and Jos Honig was almost a second quicker than George Lee Wright. So they could be with him in the next few laps. They've got a bit of time as well. It's a 1 minute 14 second lap around here, so they've got plenty of laps to try and get this overtake done. Just 6 minutes to go.
Might be worth keeping an eye on this one.
Weird cameras going on tonight as well, unfortunately, so apologies for those. We're staring into thin air there for a moment.
Tell you what, Alex, give us an on-board lap, mate.
We'll jump on board with Tom as we've been watching him sandwiched in the middle of this 3-car battle. Yeah, we just exit out of Copse Corner, not quite flat out in these cars, but very, very close to it. And obviously, we really attack the first left-hander, but slightly more of a conservative approach through the next corner because of the this right-hander. So completely different sort of circuit, the international layout, and then flat out all through this sort of back straight section. And then we're going to get ready as we approach the Abbey corner. So hairpin corner here as George Lee Wright just has a little lock up front inside right, but didn't miss the apex or anything there. Good exit for Depke. Still got Honig very, very close behind him. I can't see him, but live timing says to me he's 0.2 of a second back. Swings it in through Bridge Corner and over to the right, ready for Priory, and then we break down slowest corner on the circuit, Brooklands, and Depke just misses the apex there. It's going to put him under a little bit more pressure from Honig behind, and then through Luffield. So many lines you can take through Luffield. You can hug that tight, follow it around and try and save the time by covering less distance, or you can run it out to sort of the middle of the circuit and triangle it off and get a faster exit off, and that's certainly what Lee Wright did ahead. There we go, that's a lap around Silverstone.
Thanks for that, Alex. And Adam, it's looking like Honig may be the more likely out of the two to make a move at the moment.
They're both getting closer to George though, aren't they, going into Magnussen Beckett's lap 9. Oh, Depke runs a bit wide on the exit. He's going to get a good run here, isn't he?
Honig's got a fantastic exit. Can have a dive into the hairpin as well. I wonder if he's going to decide to do that. I'm not sure he's close enough this time. I've raced here. You commentated on my race in the Kia Club Series. You know what happened in the end in that one. But Depke's made a bit of a mess of the hairpin. Oh, he only half defends into Bridge side by side. On the inside is Honig, on the outside is Depke, the American versus the Dutchman. And the American keeps the lead for now.
All this infighting between them is stopping them actually getting past George. I think they've both got the pace to do that with the bit of damage he's got, but it just every time they get close, they seem to battle amongst themselves and give him a nice little 1 second buffer.
Here we go though, Alex, there may be more battling here because Honig's got a fantastic slipstream. Depke not defending at all. That might just cost him as Honig throws it into Copse Corner, makes the move nice and easy. I think he's through. Yes, he is. So yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't defend the inside there, Adam, really.
It all started, didn't it, at Bridge, and yeah, Jos Honig able to get that position, and Tom Depke now looks like he might have to be settling for that 8th place now. But Jos Honig, whilst they were having that battle, has let George Lee Wright slip out of sight a little bit. The gap is now between them 1.3 seconds, and with just 2 3/4 minutes to go, I don't think that's going to be enough for the Dutchman to get to the British driver, and best, so he's probably going to get 7th place, but getting 5 positions for Jos Honig, and will help him get those points to move up the Pro-Am Championship. So good race from him.
Well, the Honig was slightly quicker, wasn't he? So he may be able to bridge that gap. They're also all catching John McCutchinson as well. McCutchinson lost 1.2 seconds on that last lap to this battle. So I mean, that's uncharacteristic for him. He's been lapping in the high 1 minute 15s, but he won't want another lap like that because Wright and Depke and Honig are going to be all over him.
I thought George Lee Wright disappeared for a brief moment, but he is back again, still in 6th place. But yeah, see what lap times like 15.8 for John McCutchinson, 16.2 actually for George Lee Wright on that last lap. So a good 4/10 of a second slower. Then Jos Honig 16.0, so 2 tenths taken out of Lee Wright there by Jos Honig, and then a 17.2 for Tom Depke, who's starting to slightly fall off the pace a bit in the latter stages of the race.
Was bypassing that little chicane section. Adam, they used to use that for the touring cars back in the day, if I remember rightly.
Yes, they did. Yes, watching the reviews a few weeks ago, I was really enjoying watching the racing around this international layout.
I used to absolutely love it when the racing used to come here. I remember Nigel Mansell getting
Sorry guys,
involved
another
in
good little battle going on out there right now. Mitchell and Baker side by side.
Oh, Baker's around the outside of Alan Mitchell.
Looks like they're driving for the same team, but they're not. That's Baker in the CQR car and Alan Mitchell sporting the Jordan livery, and he's going for it almost on the grass.
Where can he go there? And he
need to update your paints again, Adam, because he's in the Quaife car.
Okay, there you go.
He managed to create a gap there, but it's a great cutback by Baker. And is Baker going to get through? Oh, they're still side by side through bridge. More squeaky bum time here.
Baker struggling with that front left damage on the front wing there, and yeah, he's just trying to hold on as best he can.
He was lucky that he wasn't clobbered by Mitchell, actually. Mitchell tried to sort of invent some space on the outside.
I think he was expecting some space as well. I think that apex for the width of the track does widen a bit going into that Abbey hairpin. It's not over though.
The deficit that Baker's got in a straight line. Championship leader.
Oh
no!
How did that not end in disaster? I don't know.
Very close. Well, checker flag's coming out, guys. So here comes Carroll across the start-finish line. Takes that one fairly comfortably. 5.6 seconds ahead of Lebert, who's coming across the line now.
That's how far in front he was, isn't it? We were still watching guys coming across to start their final lap. Ross Thompson in P3.
Kip Stevens fancies an opportunity here to get past the struggling David Baker here going into the Abbey hairpin.
Honig got very close to George as well. Couldn't quite get the job done. Let's have a look, see if Baker's going to hold on to this position or whether Kip can get him going across the line.
Looks like he's fallen back just a little bit since the start of the lap, Kip Stevens, but yeah, that battle going over 13th and 14th.
Funny, isn't it? Alex, a lot has been made of sort of the really, really fast drivers in this series, you know, the pro drivers and things like that, and you know, David Baker proving once more that he really knows how to drive these BSR series.
Yeah, well, he's got some damage here, but the important thing is he scored points. You know, and you've got Berryman and Van Loozenord. Obviously, they had their little accident. I don't know how bad the cars were, but they've obviously got themselves a DNF, and that makes all the difference. And that's why Dave's just pulled away a whole chunk of points there.
Yep, big gains for David Baker. And Adam, it was also a gain for Graham Carroll, our race winner.
Yeah, Leicester flag victory for Graham Carroll. The only scare he had was with Pete Berryman on the opening lap of the race, and I'm sure Berryman will be eager to get a strong result in race 2. He will be starting at the back though, because he was not a classified finisher. But Graham Carroll takes the win. 2nd, Samuel Lebert. 3rd, Josh Thompson. 4th, Paul Denton. 5th for John McCutchinson. 6th for George Lee Wright. 7th for Jos Honig. 8th, Tom Depker. 9th, Ralph Cullinan. And 20th and 10th, not 20th, for John Godfrey. 11th, Roy Verke. 12th, Alan Mitchell. 13th, David Baker. 14th, Kip Stevens. 15th, Stephen Baxter. 16th, the last classified finisher, Jack Keithley. That pretty much guarantees him a spot on the front of the grid for race 2. And the cars that were involved in the first corner mishap: Pete Berryman, Christian Rose, and Martin van Loozenord, who was 2 points behind David Baker going into this opening race. He'll be hoping to make that gap back up by getting a strong result in the remaining 3 races that we've got coming up here.
Right then, Alex, reverse grid time then. For the first time tonight, the Wheel of Fortune is going to come out, and we have multiple opportunities here.
Well, no.
No?
No, I don't think
be
so.
16.
Well, no, we do have a 15th as well, don't we? Right, let's bust the wheel on anyway, and see where it's gone. Yeah, we have a 15 and 16.
Jack Keithley's not going to be happy if it lands on 15, let's be honest. That's literally the only place that he could not get on pole position, so we're going to see where it's going to go.
15's coming around, but I don't think it's going to get there. We're going to get a full. Woohoo!
Woohoo! 16 then.
Against all the odds. Yeah, Jack Keithley's going to be put onto the reverse grid pole. Stephen Baxter 2nd, Kip Stevens 3rd, David Baker 4th, and Alan Mitchell in 5th.
All right then, everybody. So Jack Keithley's going to be on pole position. Very, very quick driver. So got to think that he's got to take that victory, I think, to boost his championship after that poor result. But we'll see if he can do that as the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Formula Renault Series returns after this break.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series, and since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV, Jinx Esport TV, and of course iRacing Live for round 54 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Formula Renault Championship. And I'm Andrew Woodhouse with Adam Bath and Alex Simpson. And Alex, to bring you in, mate, it was a decent race in the first one. Nothing special, but it's often how race one goes. Reverse grid time here. What do you think his overtaking is going to be?
Well, looking at the
here?
last race, overtaking definitely doable. I mean, unfortunately, we had that accident at the start there, which can happen at Cops. It's a bit of a tricky one because first lap tyres are a little bit cold. You really do attack that corner, and I think people just don't quite get it right because you're actually quite a bit slower on the approach that off of a start. And I think a few people checked up a bit more than necessarily, and the carnage followed, unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully they've all learned from that one, and we'll get through turn one this time, and we'll see some really close, great racing.
Yeah, and I think there'll be a few drivers, Adam, looking to make amends for what wasn't a great first race for a few of the big guns.
Yeah, and they'll be having to make some big amends, I think. Martin van Loozenor and Pete Berryman especially, they'll be starting at the back. They haven't been helped out by the reverse grid at all due to their retirements in the first corner on lap one of the race. So we're definitely going to be hopefully seeing something special from those two. Pete Berryman's usually get better at working his way through the field than Martin is, from what we've seen so far this season anyway. But Pete Berryman, he's had a woeful run of form. He hasn't finished a race in about 5 or 6 races now, so he'll be hoping that he can finally just not just get a win or a podium, but just get a finish on the board, and we might be able to see that in this second race.
Becoming more common in this series pretty much every week, isn't it, Alex, that we've almost got the full reverse. And I wouldn't like to be in front of all those guys, Berryman, Van Loozenord, Carroll, Libert at the start. I wouldn't like to be one of the midfield runners.
Well, no, I mean, the guys know what they've got to do, don't they? They're quite used to them coming through, especially on the opening laps now. So, they're fully aware that they're going to be trying to get through as quickly as possible. It's as much of a race for those guys. The more people they can get by earlier on, the chances are that they can follow, stay ahead for another 4 or 5 laps or something like that. So, it's an interesting little concept, really, isn't it? That the sort of guys in the mid pack are trying to overtake the slower ones ahead of them as well.
Yeah.
If they can have a really good lap, first couple of laps, then they might just be able to stay ahead of the quick guys.
Do you agree that this is possibly Jack Keithley's best opportunity of the season?
I would think so. To be honest, he's quick enough to be classed as one of the fastest guys on the in the series. So you would think, if he can get a good start here and get away, that's going to be the key thing here, because he's had some bad luck too. Then he should be able to take this one, I would think.
Of course, every single race important, Adam. Every single finish is key. Mostly due to the fact that you get the podium credits, of course, which goes towards the showdown at the end of the season.
Yeah, this is what the Formula Renault series has, of course, similar to the BSR TC, to keep the championship alive right to the very end. We're going to have that showdown, and a podium, a second place and a third place are all important. They're the bonus points that you'll be getting when the showdown begins in late August, early September time. So the drivers will be making sure that they can go for every single position, whether that is a third position or a second place. They all count, not just in terms of the raffle tickets for the big prize giving, but also to get a spot inside that showdown.
Yeah, wildcards as well. Just looking into the drivers that are doing a very, very good job so far. Someone who's been underrated for most of the season and sort of flown very much under the radar, Adam, is Paul Denton, and he's well up in the championship inside the top 6.
Yeah, Paul Denton racing at the moment. Doing very well inside the Pro-Am standings. Of course, he's got the likes of Tom Depker and Jos Honig to compete with on that occasion. So, leading the way there. And Christian Rose picking up a DNF as well in that opening race. So that would have helped him a bit more. We'll see what he can do in this second race. See if he can mix it up with the guys in the pros.
I don't think Rose lasted long at all in that first race. I think he was out on the first lap.
Right then, let's get ready to run you through the grid for the second race of the day, round 54 of the BSR Formula Renault. Starting on the pole position is, as the timing screen refreshes itself, Here's Jack Keithley, second Stephen Baxter, third David Baker. You can't count him out of possibly taking a win. Alan Mitchell in fourth, fifth is John Godfrey, sixth Ralph Cullinan, seventh Tom Depker, eighth Jos Honig, ninth George Lee Wright, and 10th John McCutchinson, 11th for Paul Denton, 12th Josh Thompson, 13th Samuel Lebert, 14th Graham Carroll, 15th Pete Berryman, 16th Christian Rose, 17th Martin van Loozenord, 18th Roy Verke, starting at the back in 19th. I think he's put himself in 19th actually. It's Kip Stevens.
Yeah, he seems to start from the back nearly every race these days. There's Kip. I mean, he'll admit to you he's not the quickest guy out there, but hey, it's all about finishing the races, getting those points. You never know, he might find himself in the showdown come the end of it. Right. Here we go then. Jack Keithley. What a great chance he's got with Stephen Baxter, his teammate, alongside him. Ready for the start here at Silverstone, round 2 of the evening. Underway as the green flag flies. Great start from Baker. He's already got ahead of Stephen Baxter. And John Godfrey's made a good start as well, ahead of Alan Mitchell. So it's Keithley that leads, Baker second, Baxter in third. Oh, off goes Mitchell.
Oh, they all go everywhere.
Oh, and everybody's off. Baxter off and Mitchell off.
And Cullinan as well. So those are the 3 guys out already. Out the running anyway. Into Beckett's, Keithley, Baker up to second.
Jos Honig was in position to hand over fist there. And he's going off the circuit. What's happened to Jos Honig? What if he's got damage?
Slow down on something, I would think there, because he's really has checked up a lot.
Look at this, Berryman versus Denton versus Lebert. Sorry, I think that's what you were coming to, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly that. Same battle.
Berryman right behind the Pro Sim car of McCutchinson, but Graham Carroll looks like he's already got by 7 positions gained for Carroll. He's up to 7th, and Berryman might try and make that another spot as he goes up the inside into Priory, now into Brooklands.
Who's that
wide
wide
goes
on the?
Depker.
Who's that on the outside? Yeah, it's Depker. Yeah, losing a lot of time in places. George Lee Wright's made a good start as well. He's behind John Godfrey. I think that's 6th place already for Wright. Oh, that's higher than that, isn't it? That's 4th.
Sorry, for 3rd, yeah.
Well, here comes the Pro
Because he's
Sim car
going up
back
the
at the inside.
inside into Cops. And Godfrey now under attack from all angles.
Oh my word. John McCutchinson, John Godfrey, yeah, it's all kicking off here.
Godfrey just decided I don't want any of that. But out of it completely. Berryman having a look on Lebert. Don't squeeze each other wide, boys. Gosh, you don't need any more retirements than you've already got.
Here he comes, Martin van Loozenord, also a man on the move. Berryman needs to time this move well, and he has. He should have the inside line into the Abbey hairpin here, and does.
Oh, no!
Oh, that's gone horribly wrong. That's Academy and UK drivers coming together, Van Loozenord and Lebert.
Yep, and just getting too close to each other, really. Teammates and, well, sorry, stable mates, shall we say. And no better than to run into each other, although we said that all the way through the season. It's not really manifested itself that way. Jack Keithley leads. Championship leader Dave Baker in P2. Thank you very much, he'll say, if he can continue through there. No damage for him this time. George Lee Wright in P3, Graham Carroll in 4th. 5th is Josh Thompson.
Side by side here between Berryman and John Godfrey. That is 6th position for Berryman now, 9 positions gained. Next on his list is Josh Thompson.
Important for Berryman, Alex, to get a good start after that DNF and showing what he's made of here.
George Lee Wright moving himself up to 2nd, just puts a move on Baker. Baker letting Carroll go almost instantly as well.
The hairpin, and can Carroll get 2nd? George Lee Wright, you know, will defend, and Graham Carroll, you know, will attack as well. Oh, and he goes wide in the Abbey hairpin, and now goes to Graham Carroll straight into 2nd place. 12 positions gained for the race 1 winner. Can he make it 2 in a row?
Not all that far behind Keithley, Alex. That's impressive that he's got through the field in such short order, and he's only 2.5 seconds behind Jack.
Well, 2.5 laps really. He's into 2nd place, so we said Jack this would be his best opportunity for a race win. Well, he's going to have to absolutely step on it if that's going to be the case.
He's a top driver in his own right, though, of course.
Yeah.
But it's a very tall order, isn't it?
Couldn't see what sort of pace Keithley had in the last race, because obviously he had that damage, but 15.0 crosses the line. I remember these guys were a little bit quicker than that, but same sort of lap time for Carroll with an overtake. So, yeah, I think this is going to go. This is going to be quite close. 9 laps to hunt him down. I think, yeah, we'll see what happens there. Thompson and Baker are side by side in the background as well.
Possible it could be difficult for Carroll. Adam.
Oh,
Very good.
Berryman got into the back of Baker, and looks like McCutchinson's all over the place, and nearly sliced into Baker to avoid him.
I mean to
Godfrey
let me to have a little pop at Pete there, but pretty slack stuff to be honest. So always going to be a bit slower with Josh having a little move on him, and need to be so careful. He's had such a poor run of form at the moment.
No, contact at the hairpin. Libert and McCutchinson locking wheels, and now they're 4 wide on the exit of the hairpin. Sorry, Alex, just more slack stuff from the pair of them, really, that was.
Yeah, sometimes the guys just need to show a little bit more patience out there, I think, than anything. They're eager to get these moves done, but yeah, it just results in that. And of course, remember the team points get penalised as well as the actual individual driver. So it's not just a case of if you make a mistake, you hurt yourself. You're actually hurting your teammates as well, with getting them into the showdown.
And in the end, these are single-seater cars. They can't take the damage that, say, the Kia Optima can. Be careful, suspension can be broken and rear wings can be damaged.
Godfrey slipping down through the order. He's really struggling out there. Not comfortable at all. Everybody's just swamping him at the moment.
Yeah, it seems like he's just quite timid around the other drivers, Adam, sometimes.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, he's now down to 13th place as George Lee Wright versus, is that it, Alex? George Lee Wright v Thompson. Battle over 4th and 5th at the moment. On the way to Bridge, and he's going to look up the inside. Tomo up the inside, but George Lee Wright takes the racing line and maintains the position. Wants to keep his spot in the best of the rest position. 4th place, now into Brooklands. It is a 12-lap race here, about to start lap 6. And then we're going to be at the halfway stage. George Lee Wright, after a good start, just starting to get attacked by the quicker drivers. And he might be under pressure here from Josh Thompson in not too distant future as they go through Woodcut.
The Wright made a fantastic start, didn't he? But it's just diminishing ever so slightly. Thompson having a look into Copse. Side by side, Wright not giving in. He's onto the AstroTurf, that's dangerous. And he does lose the position. He's lucky he didn't spin, actually, because that is not that's not where you want to be.
A little replay of that, because I'm not really sure where the cameraman decided to suddenly look as we were going into Cop's corner there, but it certainly wasn't at the battle.
We employed the local bird watcher as our outside cameraman.
Tweet. Roy Ververke is on the move.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we've mentioned him in the 2 races today.
The Automet car is looking to have a go on Jos Honig, and he may achieve that. Honig got some front wing damage. Can't see from the angle I've got, but looks to be much slower than he was in race 1.
I'm going to get a rear chase camera on Honig. Yeah, the front wing is slightly crumpled. At the front anyway, on the orange nose coat.
Belgium versus Holland then. Verke and Honig. Yeah, it's just his end fence is all bent inwards, isn't it? Honig. See whether he can defend or not from Roy. Roy's going to have the straight line speed here. Alex, look for him to have a move into Copse Corner. Or maybe not, because he's miles behind. No, he didn't get a good exit there at all, did he?
No, not at all. And he'll close back up. He'll use the draft and the straight line speed that he'll have for having the aero working well.
John Godfrey's just taken Libert.
Oh no, yeah.
So that's for 12th position.
Libert obviously struggling with the damage after contact with Martin.
I hear cars crashing, I think, outside my house, not on the game for some reason. There's all sorts of things happening around here. Godfrey now under attack from Libert. Let's see if Libert can make this position back. Not close enough into the Abbey hairpin.
Not like a fire alarm going off in a house. We've had that before on Apex Racing TV. Here comes Samuel Libert then. Got a good run on the exit of the Abbey hairpin. Actually, the Apex Racing UK driver, the pro driver as well.
Even Baxter getting very close to this battle as well. He might go around the outside in Priory.
Wow.
He's got the grip, and he does indeed. The bear an absolute sitting duck at the moment. Alex, I wonder, does he have some damage to the
Does front nose
side
cone.
pod as well, possibly?
Yeah, front nose, front wing, whole lot of stuff there. We have to switch our attention to the front very, very soon as well. That gap is down to under a second.
Keithley driving well though. He's got into the 1 minute 14s, which I don't think anybody apart from Graham Carroll actually managed to do in the first race. So that is good pace from Keithley. Might be able to prolong this. I'm not sure. We'll have to defend hard, Alex, for the last 3 or 4 laps.
Got 5 laps to go.
Carroll did 1:14.49 on that last lap, only a few hundredths off his personal best and fastest lap of the race. Closing him in corner by corner here, and unfortunately for Jack Keithley, we're only 2/3 of the way through the race. Well, we're just about to get to the 2/3 mark, so he's going to have to do some strong defending if he's going to keep the Road Pro champion of 2015 behind him.
The thing I know about these two guys is they always race each other extremely hard as well. Got a personal sort of something going on, I think, that they just have to race each other as hard as they possibly can. Really, both want to beat each other, so this is going to be a good battle.
If you're Pete Berryman, Alex, then that could be right up your street, couldn't it, depending on what goes on in the next 5 laps?
Exactly.
Berryman needs some luck, let's face it. Poor exit from Keithley. And Carroll on a good speed advantage now down this back straight. Look at him weaving all over the place. Which way is he going to go? We're going to go for the inside, but Keithley sort of half defends the line. Carroll gets a great exit. Keithley slightly squirrely under braking. He's going to have to block. Which way is he going to block, though? Carroll might be trying to go through in bridge corner up the inside. Going to change to the outside for Priory. Does he have the grip that
Oh, he's going for it.
Stephen Baxter did? Oh, goodness me, that was very, very close. Good move by Carroll. Around the outside in Priory. You can use the momentum there, and the Scotsman used that to his advantage.
I think at the moment that Jack Keithley saw Graham Carroll going around the outside, he knew that his only opportunity was to have a lunge up the inside into Brooklands, and Carroll was just as late on the brakes as he was, and Carroll was able to take the advantage, and 2 and 2 looks set to go to Graham Carroll. He's still got to do 3 more laps of this 5.8 kilometre circuit, but the ball is definitely in his course at the moment.
Alex, against a faster driver, I think your goose is cooked kind of going into bridge, because if you defend either the outside or the inside, they're going to find a way.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, the only chance really is you really go in strong into Priory, like really deep, and try and get the place back that way. But of course, you run the risk of the driver trying to do the same thing on the outside, and you just come together. So Jack left a bit of room there, and just tried a little bit going into Brooklands, but ultimately Graham, just that half a second that he seemed to have in sort of lap time difference was just enough just to get him just to nose ahead, sort of thing.
Carroll, of course, a master of Silverstone, having won the 2015 Walter Hayes Trophy. We saw him make many moves into Brooklands on that day, Alex.
Yep, yeah, exactly. Some fantastic moves, and actually we're just looking at a couple of drivers going at it at the moment. That's Paul Denton and Tom Depke.
We have to recognise that Carroll is one of the only drivers. He may be the only driver other than reigning world champion Martin Kroenke to lead a part of a world championship race
this season. Yeah, that's it. Those are the only 2 drivers,
and that was in Interlagos. Managed to get off the line extremely well.
It was Montreal.
That was neither then.
Yeah, Montreal we did it.
It being a track with quite a short run to the first corner, but and that was even more remarkable to make up a position as that run is exceptionally short. Here's George Lee Wright then on the back of Josh Thompson, and this is one that's developing, has been over the last few laps. Thompson started 12th.
Oh,
right. Oh, and there goes Thompson. Oh well, that's put paid to that battle then.
There goes Paul Denton versus Tom Depke. Their battle's going into the Abbey hairpin now, just where Josh Thompson was around, and behind them off is Stephen Baxter. He looks like he's just rescued it though.
What, a half spin?
Yeah, a half spin at the Abbey hairpin. He went across the inside grass and got back going again. He's still in 12th place, hasn't lost any position at all. The Faker Sim Sport Europe driver, as Graham Carroll sets a new fastest lap of the race.
Godfrey and Libert still battling, by the way, over increasingly lower positions, it looks like. 16th and 17th now. Godfrey started 5th, Libert started 13th. It's not been a fine outing for either gentleman.
Time's way off for both drivers, actually, so yeah, both of them obviously got a fair amount of damage, not quite sure.
Godfrey's front wing bent? I think it is. Godfrey's front wing's bent. Libert's got some problems as well. Here we go, though. Libert's trying to go to the outside.
Well, this is the battle over who wants to be on the front row of the grid for race 3.
It looks like Libert wants to be on pole.
I don't know, Ralph Cullinan's still out there. So.
Yeah, so Samuel Libert and John Godfrey both battling over who wants to be second. Martin van Loozenhoort and David Baker are both battling going into the Abbey hairpin on the final lap of the race. They've got John McCutcheon also there for company.
Yeah, indeed, but going to have to check on the front of the field, though, unfortunately, because Graham Carroll is exiting Luffield now, going through Woodcote, and he makes it 2 from 2. Graham Carroll is your race 2 winner. See back on this battle. Baker defending hard from the Dutchman van Loozenhoort. Oh! Martin trying every which way to try and get past, but Dave Baker, I don't think he's going to be easily past here. He just needs to stay to the inside, I would think, and imagine Van Loozenhoort's goose is cooked. It's going to be close, though. Over the line they go. Which line is it? Is it the first one or the second one?
First.
It was the first one. David Baker is glad that it was, because I think if it was the second one, I don't think he would have managed that position. Godfrey and Libert, they're going to be side by side then over the line. Who's going to get this one? That's going to be very close as well. I think it's going to be Godfrey. It is. He gets 16th spot.
And Libert gets 17th, and Ralph Cullinan with no nose.
Oh dear.
He's going to come round and take what will be 18th, and will be the reverse grid pole, but we will get the wheel up anyway and see what number we get, because it could be 16, it could be 17, or it could be 18. So yeah, here comes Ralph Cullinan, 18th place for him.
I'll be
Points for Ralph, just for staying out there. Just think, some people will be like, sorry, what's the point? But, you know, Ralph's probably just picked himself 50 out of 50 raffle tickets to win a Bodner or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If he wins a Bodner now, then he'll look back at this and go, well, that's the one.
That might be the winning ticket, you know, that one that he's just done there. So that's why you stay out there.
That's why I was joking about the 1.5 races that I did, because, you know, we'll go into the pot like everybody else is, you know. As well, Cullinan will be happy. He'll be on probably on the front row of the grid, actually. So that's not a certainty, though, is it? Going to have a proper spin, I think. Adam, if you could take us through the final results and tell us who the runners and riders are for that wheel spin.
Okay, so Graham Carroll takes his second win of the day. Jack Keithley second, third for Pete Berryman, fourth George Lee Wright, fifth Josh Thompson, and David Baker, there he is, in magic 6th spot. Seventh Martin van Loozenhoort, 8th John McCutcheon, 9th Christian Rose, and 10th Paul Denton. 11th for Tom Depko ahead of Stephen Baxter in 12th. 13th for Jos Honig, 14th for Roy Ververke, 15th Alan Mitchell, 16th John Godfrey. Samuel Libert struggled to 17th place. Ralph Cullinan in the last car running in 18th place, a minute and 11 seconds behind, nearly got lapped by Graham Carroll, and Kip Stevens finished 3 laps down in the end.
Alex, now we know why David Baker was fighting so hard on that last lap.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Doesn't want to give that up for no one.
So now we've got a few possibilities of reverse grid, and this is where it gets quite interesting.
Yep, let's bring the wheel up, give it a spin, and see who's going to be on that front row. Steady spin this time. It looks small. Well, no, 21st it would have been. So it's going to be Ralph that's going to get it.
I've come in on pole then. Second, Samuel Libert. We'll be hoping to get a brand new car for the third race of the day. Third is going to be John Godfrey. Alan Mitchell will be back in 4th place. He was 4th for race 2. He's going to be 4th for race 3. And in 5th is going to be Roy Ververke.
Right then, everyone. 2 races down, 2 races to go here in the BSR Formula Renault Series. Join us back here at Silverstone in about 10 minutes' time when race 3 will begin. See you in a bit.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
On the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be into stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. Round 3 of the evening in the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Formula Renault Championship. Now, the second race was a lot of fun, really. Graham Carroll charging through the field, and Alex Simpson, I was even surprised of how quickly the Scotsman managed to get through the pack.
That was the thing. That's what made the race win possible, really. Lap sort of 2 onto, and where was he? What, 3rd, 4th, something like that. Come to halfway through, sort of lap 3, and he was into 2nd. So and it was just a case of chasing Jack down then, and he had about 3 to 4 tenths of a second over the Englishman, and we saw a pretty good overtake for the to get the lead.
Still time to settle some scores and time to right some wrongs at him in these last 2 races.
Yeah, and along with him and Pete Berryman, who was able to finally get a finish on the board, he'll be very happy with that. He'll be hoping to get an even better result in this 3rd race. Now that he's got that finish out of the way, he'll be hoping to see if he can get a return to form that we saw at the start of the season, where I think he managed to go about five races unbeaten. Especially, he was brilliant around the Montreal circuit. I think he might have won 3 out of the 4 races there, Pete Berryman. So see if we can get that done in this 3rd race. But yep, another full reverse grid on our hands for race 3.
We would love to just get 1 win tonight, I think. Yeah, let's see if he can do it. He's going to be starting obviously somewhat towards the back of the field. Rafe Cullinan, of course, is the man on pole position. He showed some decent pace out there today, so he'll be hoping to keep hold of that for as long as possible. Gets a bit of luck, he might be able to keep it to the very end. And warm-up is just about over, so Adam, if you could take us through the grid for round number 55.
Okay, let's see what the grid is looking like. Opposition goes to Rafe Cullinan, 2nd is Samuel Lebert, 3rd is John Godfrey, 4th Alan Mitchell, 5th is Roy Ververke, 6th Josh Honig, 7th is Stephen Baxter, 8th Tom Depker, 9th Paul Denton, and 10th is Christian Rose, 11th John McCutchinson, 12th Martin van Loosenord, 13th is David Baker, 14th Josh Thompson, 15th George Lee Wright, 16th is Pete Berryman, 17th Jack Keithley, 18th Graham Carroll going for 3 in a row, and 19th place is Kip Stevens.
Okay then, this is a good chance for Samuel Lebert, Alex, on the front row. Be hoping to have an incident-free race. He's had a good mid-season part, hasn't he? But tonight's not been his night.
No, unfortunately not. But yeah, who knows? Let's see what he can do. Again, just needs to get away good. Bit like Jack in that last one. I think he is a couple of tenths quicker than Jack as well, so it's going to be harder for the likes of Carroll and Martin to catch up to him.
Here we go then. Red lights are on.
Green, green, green!
Green light is on. Good start from Rafe. McQuaid. He's up in the front row extremely well. Bear trying the outside into Cops as well. Remember, overcast conditions as well. The cars could be a little bit quirrily, and that's Roy Ververke off to the side. Survived, but yeah, Belgian having to take to the pit road exit. Beckett's then.
Oh no, there goes Cullinan.
Oh, there goes Cullinan. That didn't last long, unfortunately for him.
Losing the back and not sure where he's going to try and recover.
I got lost as well. Fortunately, 3 wide in the middle there between. Oh, it's not going to end well at all. The 2 CQR cars, Baker and Rose, and the red helmet of McCutchinson. Oh no! I think we're okay. Oh no, we're not.
Oh no, we're not. There goes Denton, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, it's going to have a tall order to get back. This our winner from the first couple of races. Oh, he's having a look up the inside in Priory on McCutchinson. Doesn't get through. George Lee right behind him. Now having a little look at Brooklands.
Carroll's made very good progress in the field, as you may expect, of course. Berryman with a good start as well. Berryman's ahead of Carroll. He's going through on our championship leader, David Baker.
Van Loosenord going for that's Josh Thompson versus Tom Depp. No, what am I looking at? Yeah, it's Josh Thompson versus
Honig is there, isn't he?
Yeah, Josh Honig. Yeah,
oh,
Thompson
man,
through.
That was close. Oh, and there's a problem for McCutchinson. He had a little bit of a twitch through Cops. A couple of places. Well, pretty close, apart from Samuel Lebert, who leads already, Alex, by 4 seconds.
4.8 according to the live timing.
5 seconds
So
after
another
one
second
lap.
gained. Yeah, so incredible.
The one lap of this Silverstone International.
That's what a new car does for you.
Oh, what's
my
going on there?
Lord.
That was
Is
Thompson
Van Loosenholt, was it?
and Mitchell. Thompson and Mitchell.
It was Van Loosenholt, it was. I thought Thompson, sorry, was in. That's where Van Loosenholt was.
Let's get a replay of that because
Al Van Loosenholt didn't get any of that. Dear me.
I don't know what these guys were doing. They just forgot to brake, didn't they?
And Mitchell
That is
moved
very
over.
late from Thompson.
Yeah.
He did hit the brakes, but that was.
I thought Mitchell was Mitchell shaping up a move on Van Loosenholt, or was he moving across to defend from Thompson?
I think he sort of moved across a little bit to defend, and Thompson hit his rear wheel, and that's it. And from there, they were both just passengers. So.
No, I think Josh completely missed the breaking point, Alex. He was never going to make it, I don't think. Could be wrong, but
They could do for a move on Baxter at Brooklands. Have to go around the outside of left field to complete this. There is Depko in front of them as well.
Berryman, Honig and Carroll, that is so close as well. I do apologise, Alex. Those three were wheel to wheel to wheel.
Oh, they're going to go for it.
Oh, Honig hitting Berryman slightly. Honig's late on the brakes. Berryman, yeah, he carries good speed.
And watch this back on the replay and stay with it.
Honig isn't giving up on with Graham Carroll though. Neither's George Lee Wright. He's just got past Tom Depker.
Indeed, he has. Baxter losing out to Keithley. Wright's connections all over the place. It was last week.
Faker past Depker as well on this lap, so the Faker Simsport Midwestern falling down the order a little bit. No, I apologise, he's Apex Academy, isn't he?
Who's that,
Tom
sorry?
Depker. Tom Depker.
Yep.
Berryman and Godfrey now.
Berryman and Carroll. These two hunting in a pack. And Godfrey's fighting on the outside quite well here. All in line though.
Remember, Carroll's technically an independent as well for the meeting at the moment.
Yep.
Although I'm sure now that the team is down, we'll draft him in at some point.
Oscar Mangan coming back at any point?
Yeah, he is. He's just away at the moment, so I don't think he's back until like June sometime. As
Right.
Carroll and Berryman side by side, then Carroll up the inside late on the brakes. He is going to get a slightly better exit, so we'll have the draft. It'll be interesting.
Very close, but again, which way is he going to choose?
Oh,
The
that's
better way,
close.
Adam, what's the better way in your opinion through that section? Attacking.
Yeah, I'd say attacking. Well, if you're attacking, probably just to wait until the front straight. As George Lee Wright is past John Godfrey there. Yeah, so Lee Wright now up into 5th position. Gap between Samuel Lebert, Martin Van Loosenholt is only 4 seconds. I say only. We know how fast Graham Carroll is. Let's see what the lap times are like as they come over the line. He's got to get to Martin Van Loosenholt first, who is 4 seconds away. Probably a bit too far away to get to Lebert actually. So
Chances are slim to none, I think, on that
Yeah.
one, unless Lebert makes a mistake. Christian Rose having a look at John McCutchinson. Rose in the CQR car. Hutchinson for ProSim.
Yeah, the last lap, the top 3 were all lapping within sort of 1.5 tenths of each other, so very close out there.
Oh.
I don't even think Martin's slightly quicker than both at the moment, but it's just at that sort of time there's not going to be enough to get to the front.
Lebert put in a very quick lap of his own right. 1:14.5. Van Loosenholt 1:14.4. Carroll 14.6. Oh, very fast times. We'll see. This will be the interesting lap, I think, Adam, in terms of lap times for Graham Carroll.
yeah, this is his first lap time where he hasn't been battling with Pete Berryman. Well, without Pete Berryman being alongside him anyway. Out the final corner we go. Samuel Lebert does a new personal best, a 1:14.562. Almost like qualifying laps being done here by the guys at the front. Van Loosenholt does a 14.507, slightly quicker, half a tenth quicker. Graham Carroll, new fastest lap of the race, 1:14.3, 2 tenths quicker than Graham Carroll. He's quick, but he's going to have to go quicker than that if he wants to get to both Van Loosenholt and Lebert.
Berryman 14.4 as well, just behind. So in that slipstream here, speaking of slipstream, look at the one that David Baker's got. right behind John Godfrey. Is he going to try and prize the Apex Racing Academy driver at any point? Oh, he gets a good exit, Baker, but as it turns left through that kink, he's sort of stuffed for a move, really. There he goes, though. He manages to get some space. Up the inside goes David Baker. Oh, Honig almost hits Godfrey. Here comes Keithley. Good run by Keithley. Adam out of the Abbey chicane, hairpin, sorry. And he's side by side with Honig.
Two Faker Sim Sport drivers going at it here. Honig with the green rims and the green nose cone, and Keithley with the red nose cone and the black rims. And yeah, they're all closing in on David Baker and John Godfrey here, the Apex Academy driver. And Baker, who's currently in his customary 6th position again, he just won't relinquish it, will he? And he's doing so at the moment.
Jack Keithley now has the rub. We get the slipstream as well. Well, he got a little bit of it. Honig's got the majority of it from John Godfrey, but Keithley goes through, and looks like Depka might be able to take advantage of this as well. And also the Faker Sim Sport driver Stephen Baxter.
Oh, this might not end well, viewers. But the inside, he goes into Maggots, around the outside.
Can he hold it? Oh, he can.
He does.
That's not the first outside move that Stephen Baxter's done tonight, Alex. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Baxter, a driver who is really, really improving rapidly as well. We see him each week in the BSR touring cars. Oh, I don't know what's going on with the camera. That gets all juddery down.
Depka hits Baxter, and we have a blockage. At least temporary track blockage. I can't speak, sorry. I know.
Poor Baxter. That happens in the touring cars as well.
It does tend to happen.
Does a great move and then just gets tagged. I think Depka will be kicking himself with that though, because yeah, that's not the kind of driver Tom is.
Adam, you may remember that happened to me at the
Yes,
Club
it did.
Series as well, and that's kind of what I was coming to with the move of Josh Thompson. It's very, very easy to do in that corner. I don't know why it is, but suddenly it's upon you.
It invites moves, doesn't it? You see that huge acres of space on the inside, part away from the racing line, and as a driver, sometimes you just want to go for it. And yeah, that's what's happened there. It was what happened to you in the Club Series, yeah, which denied you a race victory. In fact, so you got one later on in the season at Brands Hatch, so made up for that. But yeah, that's what happened there.
That's how tricky the corner is. You know, sometimes, especially if you're following, we forget, Alex, just how these Formula Renaults, you know, that they are. Even though they're not the biggest cars, if you touch right up behind one, you're pretty unsighted.
Yeah, exactly. You know, these guys are getting sort of, you know, a tenth of a second behind, so it's very easy to, like you say, just to miss your braking point, like we saw earlier on with Josh.
Likewise, Depka, and that's why he has dropped down the order and into the doldrums now, really. Kip Stevens has benefited quite nicely from that, though, Adam, I'd say.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, Kip Stevens, 4 positions gained now. Keeps starting at the back, does Kip. I think that's by choice, really, rather than his pace. Keeps getting positions when and where he can, and he's got some here in this 3rd race, up to 15th.
Yeah, I'm not sure you should necessarily be allowed to put yourself in the back of the field, but there you go, that's what he does, and that's what...
modest, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, I suppose it could be worse, it could be putting himself at the front.
Rose and McHutchinson, they're pretty close together at the moment. So Rose for CQR had a bit of a, well, unfortunately didn't get past turn 1 on race number 1, so just trying to slowly recover and salvage some good points for the evening.
Now Martin van Loozenhoorn, interestingly, has just hit a couple of cones on the exit of Beckett's, and he's damaged his front wing.
Well, don't want to be doing that, that's for sure, you're right. Big time on the front left-hand side there, so...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, cones aren't light if you hit them at the speeds that these cars are going.
He's dropping back really quickly as well now, so from Lebert. It was 4.8 at the start of this lap, sorry, 4.5, and it's now 6 seconds, so he's lost 1.5 seconds this lap.
I wonder, Alex, is it possible, I know it hasn't happened in this case, obviously, but excuse me, is it possible to get a cone lodged in these Formula Renaults like you used to be able to do in the F1 cars?
Yeah, exactly the same. Very possible, just to get it stuck under there and get a bit of understeer and a bit of drag and things like that. So, but yeah, in this case it does look like it's just damage. The front wing is very, very vulnerable to that. It never used to be. The car used to be really hardy, and people were moaning that you can whack things all over the place and it doesn't fall apart. And yeah, I think in this particular case they've just gone a little bit too far the other way.
Do we know what it's like in real life? Adam, have you seen any Renault 2-litre races?
I haven't seen them hit any cones.
No, but with damage in terms of damage of hitting each other.
It seems to be pretty compact. Not much really flies off them. I watched the Formula 4 race, which is pretty similar to these cars, as Baker shapes up with that is Jack Keighley. Into bridge. Something's not right with the world if Jack Keighley takes 6th place away from David Baker.
Ooh,
and he's through.
Yeah. Oh, Baker's having a look back at that. No, he spins.
He didn't want to lose it, did he?
That's how much that 6th place means, Alex Simpson.
That's it. Well, 7th becomes 9th now, so yeah, he's got some work to do to try and get back past Thompson and Honig.
It's an upside down.
Damage, though.
It's an upside down number 6.
There we go.
Graham Carroll is closing on Martin van Loozenhoorn, and the Dutchman is going to be ruining his brush with the street furniture.
Yeah, well, Carroll's just done exactly the same thing. Got away with it. So
I think Van Loozenhoorn hit 2 or 3 of them, though, Alex. I think it was sort of boff, boff, boff. I don't think it was just one. So a cumulative effect for him.
Well, a 16.
I mean, they are orange, and he is Dutch, so I can understand why he might be attracted towards them. But
it's like, have at it. Let's go.
16-0.
And
Honig, Thompson, yeah.
Very, very close to one another.
I tell you what, David Baker was as feisty over that 6th place as English people are over cheese slices, Alex.
Well, yeah, that's it. That's his spot, isn't it? He doesn't want to give that up.
Well, McCutchinson's had to give some stuff up. I know our positions he's given up. He's down to 14th place now.
Yeah, we have to make it clear that that's nothing else apart from position.
Christian Rose versus John Godfrey now going into Love Field. This is CQR versus Apex, and Godfrey trying to go up the inside.
It's officially broken down now. Mr. Rose is trying around the outside of Woodcote then.
We're on to the last lap. Martin's going to try and hold on to this, but I think at the straight line speed, this is where you lose it. It's damaged front wing, so Graham's just going to be able to drive right around the outside. Indeed he does.
One thing, yeah, he has. Van Loozenhoorn very late on the brakes, he doesn't want to give it up, but he just doesn't have that front end grip that Carroll has. Although, does he? He gets some good traction. Not going to have the speed, surely.
In the draft, it sort of does equalise out. We have seen this.
Does he have anything left for a lunge?
Little
thinks
bit.
about it. Don't have a collision, boys, but Samuel Libert, well, he's had nothing of the sort. He's been perfect all the way through this race. Started second, but a fantastic launch. And through Woodcote he comes, and Samuel Libert wins race 3 of the evening.
Also, Van Loozenhoorn sliding his car all over the place, trying to get that 2nd place back. Problem for Roy Verke on this last lap. Looks like he's become another victim of the hairpin, the Abbey hairpin. Looks like he lost it on his own, in fact, going into there. So that's put him down to 15th.
Baker might be able to nick something.
Problem for Baxter as well. Oh, what happened to him?
All falling apart for first Pro Sim, now Faker Sim Sport.
Honig beats Baker to the line. That's 8th and 9th. Oh no, Roy Verke is still there, but he's just dropped down.
Baxter just got over for the inside curb going through Priory. Got himself all out of shape, and then yeah.
You know, he actually gained a place on that lap, Baxter. Still, after all that.
Oh, there you go.
I think that was
Verke, wasn't it?
Verke, yeah, that was why.
Rafe Cullinan, unfortunately, after his spin, ends up in only 16th place. Oh no, Baxter!
I did think he would have a slowdown penalty, and it looked like he hadn't served it. So there you go. iRacing gives him a speeding penalty ticket right there.
It's the 45-second penalty, I believe, isn't it?
Well, yeah, he went across pretty much the whole of Brooklyn's. Baxter, yeah. So
got to slow down and serve it before the finish line, haven't you?
No wonder he gained a place then.
Going to get penalised.
Yeah. So 45 seconds added to his race time, which probably means he's going to be on pole now.
Maybe
how the series is going.
Bit of cunning thinking there by Baxter. I don't know.
Lose a few points there and get pole position instead.
Yes, a cunning stunt indeed.
I'll run you through the finishing order then. Samuel Lebert shows you what a new front wing can do for you. Finished second last in race 2, takes the win in race 3. Graham Carroll finishes second, was able to get past Martin van Loozenord in the end, who really felt the pain of hitting those cones. 4th, Pete Berryman. 5th, George Lee Wright. 6th, Jack Keithley. 7th, Josh Thompson. 8th, Jos Honig. 9th, David Baker. 10th, Christian Rose. 11th, John Godfrey. 12th, John McCutchinson. 13th for Paul Denton, Roy Ververke finishing in 14th place in the end, 15th for Kip Stevens, 16th for pole sitter Rafe Cullinan, 17th Tom Depker. Then it's Stephen Baxter, the last running car after not serving that slowdown penalty, and Alan Mitchell finished in 19th, 10 laps down. He will be definitely starting at the back for the 4th and final race. In fact, he won't, because Kip Stevens will probably put himself there. So,
Alex, we've only had, I think, been 6 retirements in 3 races. That's pretty good going, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been pretty clean actually tonight. A couple of bits here and there, but nothing major. So yeah, good to see.
All right then, reverse grid time. Let us know who's going to be on pole position. It's a good chance it's going to be Stephen Baxter, but it could be anybody up to Kip Stevens in 15th.
Yeah, final one of the night then. Here we go. Trying to roll, but it won't go. There we go. Wheel speeds up. We're going to end up... Oh, it could be a small one anyway. So a legitimate pole position here. 15th we've got.
wow. And that is Kip Stevens. That's going to be interesting. I think he might rule himself out of that. In that case, it might be Roy Ververke that gets put onto a reverse grid pole.
We'll have to see, won't we, really?
Yeah.
That cunning trick from Baxter has backfired somewhat.
Yes.
There you go.
Indeed. He'll be starting at the Baxter for the next one. And
And on that shocking note, yeah.
that was terrible. And Kip Stevens, well, Kip may skip pole position as well, so he may end up at the back as well. So they can go and battle with each other. Also, you've got your lovely Bear, Carroll, Van Loozenord and Berryman starting all together as well once more. So that will be very, very interesting indeed. Right, we've got one more race to go tonight in the BSR Formula Renault Series. Join us for it in just a few minutes' time here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be into stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Final time today, we return to the Silverstone circuit in the United Kingdom. The iRacing MSA Formula Renault Championship, round 4 of the evening, round 56 of the championship. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Adam Bath and Alex Simpson. And Adam, well, you're the first victim in this one. All this reverse grid of the day, it's not going to change the race, I wouldn't think, too much, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this overcast condition.
Yeah, if anything, it's eased Van Loozenord and Graham Carroll and Samuel Lebert and Pete Bowman as well. It's meant it's a little bit easier for them, less cars to overtake. However, Stephen Baxter won't be too happy at all. He's going to be starting at the back, so going to be another good racing prospect, I think. Very low temperatures as well.
Alex, sometimes I want those guys to be all fighting together at the front to get an even race between them, but it's still fun watching them slice their way through, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's part and parcel of the series, isn't it? And usually the driver who comes out on top of sort of those guys is the one that's been able to get the best start and get through the pack a little bit quicker, pick up 3 or 4 places, and they sort of fan out a little bit, don't they, as they come through the pack.
Now, is Kip Stevens going to take the start? This is what we're...
if he's not pole, who will be pole?
Roy Ververke.
He is on pole. Well, he's on pole, but will he take to his number 1 spot on the grid? That is the question.
And what I did notice very, very quickly is for some reason in the earlier races, it seemed like the actual dirty side of the track has been the one where the better starts have come from. So I wonder if that's going to continue.
Oh, he does.
And there he is. We're going to have a battle at the front. This is going to be good. Right then. Red lights are on for the last time today. Green light is on. It's a great start from Stevens, top reaction there, and a great, even better one from Paul Denton. Lots of drivers getting away superbly. Roy Ververke's made a good start as well. Stevens leads into turn 1. He is a reverse grid specialist, Adam. We've seen it before in the touring cars. Oh, and off goes Honig.
And right.
He's into George Lee Wright.
Oh, a few people crashing in the background there. I don't know.
That's
Mitchell and Depka, is it?
I think you are right.
Oh,
And
2 cars off. They're both Apex. It's Godfrey and Thompson.
Well, their bad evening. Well, Thompson's bad evening continues at least. Anyway. Now then, Roy Ververke takes the lead from Kip Stevens. Stevens having to battle with his teammate McCutcheon. McCutcheon braked on the grass. He's going to go wide. Oh, goodness me, nearly collides with his teammate.
Oh, there's not space there, guys. And off goes
is that in the wall?
Berryman.
Is it? Has he survived? Did he hit the wall? Oh, he did. He lost the front nose.
Here's Pete. He's lost the front nose.
Oh, it's all kicking off in the middle. Carroll. Oh, who's that? Cullinan, I think. Losing the car slightly.
Rose past Stevens as well, going into Brooklands. Carroll very close to the Apex car going into
P2 for
Luffield.
Rose now.
P2 for Rose, yeah, 4 positions.
P2 for Rose. Now, Steve. Who's that? Is that Van Loozenord already?
Yes, it is.
Loozenord looking for 4th position. Stevens defends. Hutchinson goes around the outside. Is Van Loozenord going to follow him? Stevens very close. He's fighting hard on the inside here against Van Loozenord.
Oh, here comes Baker.
Both former champions of various things, and so is David Baker as he gets involved in the action as well. Baker is 6th, by the way.
Who's that diving up the inside of Baker? Yeah, Keithley.
Did he make it? Just about. Carroll is right behind Baker now. I can hear some contact. What's that?
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Thompson and Cullinan. There's Josh Thompson and Cullinan.
Oh! Lebert!
Oh my God, they're so late on the brakes.
Oh, wow.
Carroll and Lebert
How did
there.
Lebert not hit Carroll? How did he not hit Graham Carroll? I have absolutely no idea.
I don't know how either of them braked as late as they did. Poor Baker looked like he was
slouching.
in a different car or something, how early he braked there in comparison.
Keithley did.
Stevens getting passed by Carroll. Oh, Carroll very close to the back of Keithley. Baker's in there as well.
Oh, this is boxing in Lebert big time, and Lebert pushed the pass literally
Stevens getting nerfed off into the grass as McCutcheon goes to war with Martin Van Loozenord, and there's a battle for the lead as well. And Christian Rose is into that lead now.
Here comes McCutcheon on Van Loozenord as well. Van Loozenord looks like he's just got past the Pro Sim driver.
Great pass by the CQR car. Christian Rose, excellent driving. Oh, Ververke's made a mistake. It's going to allow Van Loozenord through, is it? No, Ververke's exit was better, of course.
New Dutchman.
No, it's not. Belgian.
There you go. Two Benelux drivers.
Two Benelux drivers. That one's right. Van Loosenholt extremely late on the brakes. He locks up, but as Alex pointed out, it doesn't seem to matter just how late he was. And look at that. He's already gained massively on Christian Rose. Might be through by the end of this lap at this rate.
Down to 2 tenths between the CQR and the Apex car going into Brooklands. Carroll passed for Verke as well, so Carroll up to 4th.
I think we can't really be naive here. I think that this is the race between Van Loosenholt and Carroll. I know Rose is leading the race, but this is what Van Loosenholt didn't want to see. He didn't want to see that privateer machine of Graham Carroll. Two cars between him and the Scotsman. Van Loosenholt into the lead. Carroll is having a look on McHutchinson. Is he going to go through into Maggots? Side by side, he's got the inside. He forces him out and gets through. Does Graham Carroll? You feel that Carroll has to get Rose into the hairpin, otherwise.
Mine just made contact with Cones again.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
You know, he needs to stay clear of that.
I
He
think
knows what happened the last time.
again, Alex.
I don't think it has.
It looked like it, but maybe it's fixed itself. It looks slightly bent.
The car's got its fun on
well,
mine.
we'll soon find out. I think if we can catch a good camera shot here of Martins. It's nowhere near as bad as it was the last time. If it is,
It's very slight damage. It looks like it's just bent inwards a tiny bit. Barely noticeable.
I was just watching on board of him. The man, he's having to wrestle with the car here. Graham Carroll coming out of the final corner. Then it's these two for the win. Then over the line we go to complete lap 4 of the race. We've still got 2/3 of the race to settle this now.
Go on board with Carroll, Alex, and see what
we're just looking back from Martin's gearbox there. It doesn't. There's not a massive overspeed there like there was the last time. So I think it's okay.
Just doesn't want to be hitting any more cones.
No, not at all.
Well, so far tonight, Graham Carroll's taken 2 victories. Samuel Lebert took 1 in race 3. Graham Carroll yet to. Martin Van Loosenholt yet to get 1.
I don't know how these two. They always seem to do that sort of little. Oh, there goes Van Loosenholt. And Carroll locks up. Loosenholt's wide. He's got a good exit though here. They always seem to do that little shuffle, Alex. Behind, just as they're about to pull out of the slipstream. They go side by side here once more. They're surely going to have a look here. Van Loosenholt. Graham Carroll manages to get that battle won.
In a good shot of Martin's wing now. It's absolutely perfect. Andrew, yeah, no issues there.
Will he win the war though?
Got Keithley closing in on McHutchinson as well in the background. Got a good drive coming out of Luffield. Goes to the inside of Copse. Could be straightforward, although McHutchinson does turn in with him. But yeah, does sort of concede going into the corner.
Problem for David Baker in this race as well. He's down to 12th. I saw him dropping down the order whilst Van Loosenholt and Carroll were having their battle. Doesn't look like he's going to be getting 6th here, but Christian Rose
behind Rose involved in something.
Oh dear, that's a big one
there.
Van Loosenholt for the lead as well, gentlemen. Oh,
we'll come back.
Carroll's exceptionally late on the brakes there. Locked up and crossed up. Somehow managing to stay ahead. Van Loosenholt is not done.
We're just seeing a replay of what happened to Rose there, and we're going to watch that bit of action that you were talking about. Single car accident for Rose, just lost it on the way out, but yeah, great bit of driving as we see the replay there. And like you say, Graham very, very late going into the into Abbey.
Yeah, no, this is the part of the course, Alex, that we saw him excel at in 2015 at the Walter Hayes Trophy. He knows this part of the national circuit effectively like the back of his hand, the Luffield Brooklands Copse section.
He goes for it.
Loosenholt goes through. Now, I don't know, it looked like it was a little bit easy, but it's a good move nonetheless.
Oh, that's close.
Here we go. He's going to go up the inside into Beckett's. We haven't seen that tonight really at all.
Oh, forced onto the grass.
Lucenord onto the grass, nearly into the cones again. His worst enemy of the evening. Oh, and all this jinking and jiving out of the slipstream. Lucenord is now the one on the inside. Carroll gets a great slingshot.
This reminds me so much of Donington Park earlier on this season. Look at how that one ended.
Yeah, badly. As Carroll... Oh, Carroll's going to go up the inside into Priory. Side by side here.
The Bear and Denton as well. They're having a bit of a battle right now.
Oh, losing all up the inside into left field, but loses the rear almost.
Still got the overlap. Carroll was all sorts of sideways through Luffield. And Lucenord now has the inside line. He's got the shortest route, but Carroll may be clear here. I think he is.
Yes.
Now he slides the rear of the car through Cops. Lap 8 of 12 here in the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Formula Renault Championship on Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live, Jinx Esport TV. Andrew Woodhouse, Alex Simpson, Adam Bath, bringing you all the coverage and all the action from another exciting meeting. And Adam, we're seeing a great tussle between two of the best in the world.
Yeah, just when it looks like that Graham Carroll's got Martin van Luzenor beaten, the Dutchman comes back yet again and looks like he's doing so here. Locks up, going into the Abbey hairpin, and he's right back on his tail again.
Wow, that was a great corner by Van Luzenord, Alex. He went in properly late on the brakes and somehow managed to gather it all up and get a good exit.
Yeah, exactly. Good move. I think these two are going to go at it for the rest of the race. The Bear's going to try and catch up to McCutchinson.
Oh, Carroll is sideways again. Does he often like the rear end of the car to be dancing around, Alex? Carroll.
Well, they do. Both these drivers set their car up a little bit more loose than, say, I would have it. So, God, that was so close on screen there. But, yeah, as long as it turns, they want a lot of turn, these guys.
So the skill comes in, isn't it, really? And Luzenord, is he going to hold the line through Maggots and Beckett's? He's trying. Carroll is late on the brakes, but he's going to go wide. There's not a lot of grip out there. Gets the drive off the corner, Adam, and now it's going to be defensive mode again into Abbey.
Surely this is a great opportunity for Luzenord. Carroll will defend the inside line, and he's going to go to the outside into the hairpin. Around the outside he goes. Carroll going in deep. He locks the brakes. Van Luzenord still there on the outside.
Oh,
Carroll's
he's still
forcing
there.
him wide.
He's on the grass and the gravel. Somehow manages to gather it all up, though. Such control under braking. Both men giving in absolutely everything. It's a great battle. I do apologise for the rest of the drivers, but great scrap at the front.
The drivers that are out of the race, Tom Depker, Pete Berryman, Alan Mitchell, Jos Honig, Christian Rose and George Lee Wright, they've all retired in this fourth and final race.
Apart from Rose, that was pretty much all on the first lap, wasn't it? So, yeah, first lap taking its toll. Can Martin van Luzenord do anything about Graham Carroll now that he's dropped back a little bit to about 0.6 of a second?
Was Graham Carroll privateer? As he locks up, he's not fighting for a championship. Martin van Luzenord is.
We talk about the locking of the brakes a lot, Alex, when we cover the Porsche races, but is it a bit superficial in this car as well? Is it not really that serious when Graham's going in all locked up, or will it just be eating away at that tyre?
It makes a big difference. Yeah, it makes a big difference in this car. I mean, fortunately, conditions out there are very, very cool, so it's not such a huge thing. But yeah, absolutely, you lose time every time you lock up in this car.
Seems to have lost a fair bit of time by the looks of it, because gone all crossed up, all locked up a few different times. Luffield, Carroll's a bit more settled this time. He gets the car planted a bit more where he needs to be. Van Luzenord still gets a good exit out of Luffield, and he will pick up the tow through Woodcut, Adam.
4 tenths of a second then as they come across the line. Penultimate lap. Amazing how the laps have flown by here. Fastest lap of the race, Martin van Luzenord by 0.02 of a second. Graham Carroll, off goes a Luzenord. Back on again. The gap goes up to just under half a second.
About okay, he'll pick up an off-track point for that, but that'll be it. Carroll gets the car turned in extremely well. Rear looks very, very light though for him.
Nothing else really going on out there for us to cover. A few people are close, but that's about it. Lebert might get to McHutchinson by the end of the race for 4th.
Might as well stick to this front battle. Then Carroll locks up this time. And once more, Adam, he just leaves a little bit of room just to say, well, just for Van Loozenhout to start thinking about maybe what he can do on the last couple of laps.
Having a little look into Priory there, wasn't he? It's going to be all about this final lap then. We'll have to try and force Graham Carroll into making some sort of mistake around maybe Maggots or Beckett's. That seems to be where Martin Van Loozenhout gets as close as he can.
I think if Martin has a clean final sector, got a very, very good chance of doing something. Not necessarily into Copse, but maybe into the complex at Maggots and Beckett's. Final lap of the race then, white flag is in the air. Work through Copse from Graham. Martin is closing in. One mistake now, Alex, and it could be all over. Oh,
there it
there
is.
it is!
There it is.
Couldn't have done that better myself. I must have. Van Loozenhout goes round.
He's going to get 2nd. Martin's going to hold on for 3rd. Will
Look at the battle for 4th, yeah.
Yeah, will Lebert now get McHutchinson? This is going to be very, very close. Final lap of the race.
A great job by John McHutchinson. Adam to be in 4th, but he's leaving the door open for Samuel Lebert. Is the Frenchman going to walk through it? Oh, exceptionally close. Clear. Or is he? Don't know if he is actually. McHutchinson's still there into Bridge. And Lebert is through, so Lebert up into 4th position. But coming round the final corner. Well, goodness me. Nearly bins it at the end, but Graham Carroll takes a hat-trick of victories, 3 out of 4 tonight for him. He wins here at Silverstone. Jack Keithley's going to pick up P2. It's 3rd in the end for Van Loozenhout. I think he'll still be fairly happy with that. Hutchinson behind Samuel Lebert. And Paul Denton rounds out the top 6. And this is, I think this is the best finish of the season for Roy Verwerke, by the way. Adam, a great 7th place for him.
Great job. That's him during the races. Josh Thompson looks like he might have just beaten Rafe Cullinan. That looks like a very late overtake there for the Apex Academy driver, and he's going to beat the Irishman across the line to get 12th place.
Yeah, he will indeed. Well, lap 12. Better late than never for Josh Thompson. Up into P12 as well. That one. Adam, if you could take us through our final standing sheet of the evening.
Okay, so Graham Carroll takes the win, 3 out of 4 as you were saying. Jack Keithley 2nd, Martin Van Loozenhout, not many race meetings where he doesn't get a win, he finishes in 3rd. 4th, Samuel Lebert. 5th is John McHutchinson. 6th, Paul Denton. 7th, Roy Verwerke. 8th is Stephen Baxter. 9th is John Godfrey. 10th, Kip Stevens. 11th, David Baker. No 6th place for him this time. 12th, Josh Thompson. 13th, Rafe Cullinan, I should say. And then the cars that didn't finish, Christian Rose and George Lee Wright, both 7 laps down. And then the cars all eliminated on the opening lap. Alan Mitchell, Jos Honig, Pete Berryman and Tom Depker.
Right then, hey, do we have any drivers for the interview, Alex, at all?
Not at the moment, I'm afraid.
We give them a couple of minutes?
Yeah, give them a couple of minutes and we'll just see.
Tell you what, while we wait for them to see if they want to come and join us in the commentary box, you want to take us through what you thought of this race meeting?
Yeah, no, good meeting all round. Some good hard battling. Only a few little retirements here and there. Some key ones as well. And some great racing out there as well. This is what we're coming to expect from the series. It's gradually finding its its place, and just hoping it's going to carry on going from this sort of progress, and grids are slowly building back up as well, which is always good.
Will you be giving Graham Carroll a roll of £20 notes to come and drive for you for the rest of the season?
Well, I think the team's invested enough in the series already, so we should have that all covered.
We'll be hoping so, at least from the team's point of view. Adam, Silverstone International, it's It's a rarely used layout these days, but it's always a good fun one to come to.
Yeah, it is, and I think the drivers really showed that today, that there is plenty of overtaking opportunities on this circuit, and the likes of Martin van Loosenord, Graham Carroll, Samuel Lebert, and even Pete Berryman, when he wasn't off in the 4 races that we had today, they were able to get overtakes done all around the circuit, and probably why it makes Silverstone in every single series that we run on iRacing or in real life a fan's favourite and a driver's favourite as well. And yeah, we love coming here. We're probably going to come here a few more times in the season, probably on the national layout, probably later in the season.
Yeah, and there's always the new layout of Silverstone, which we won't stop going on about it. Come on, we want that rescan of Silverstone with the new arena section and the new pits and everything like that. We want it. We need it. I'd like to have it, please. Right. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. It doesn't look like anybody's going to want to come and talk to us tonight. But that's about it from Apex Racing TV for the evening. So join us again on next week for more from the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Formula Renault Championship.